Well, my rheumatologist suggested I switch from Cosintex to Skyrizi. And anytime you make a change to your arthritis medicine, you wind up feeling like absolute garbage. And this time is no exception to that. So I started that on the 31st. Today is the 7th of June. And yeah, I feel like garbage. So there's not a whole lot I'm going to get done today. Y'all saw in the last video I got the motor installed. So the only thing I'm going to try to do today, besides step over all my crap, is I want to get those accessories bolted up to this thing and then get a battery charger on the Corvette so I can get ready to dump oil in it and wing it over. Yeah, so I'm going to take the path of least resistance and work on this side over here. Basically, all that to say, I gotta take it easy. If I really get after it too hard, I'm not gonna be feeling great. Well, that's good. So that does fit. Well, that lines up. Oh, that's great. What is going on here? Oh no, that was a spacer. Yeah, I added a spacer over there. Don't know why I needed a spacer. But that goes on the other side. Yeah, that won't work. So anyway, if I'm acting a little punky, that's the reason why. It just fits on right there, theoretically. Now why? Well, how about this? Yeah, that was for that side. I'm just gonna get... Okay, so there's a couple nuts. Those for sure. Start right here. So those are the only places I got nuts. What in the hell? Oh, neighbors. Be neighboring. Started, it looks like about 9/16 if I was to guess. So psoriatic arthritis is basically your whole body it's an autoimmune disorder, and basically what it does is it pisses you off. That's what it does. Your body's constantly trying to heal when it shouldn't be, or it's not necessary anyway. And so what happens is all your joints just get attacked and you're stiff as a board. There we go, that's drawing in nicely. Why? Oh, it's my hose clamp. Oh, hose clamp's getting in the way. So I gotta take these off. I don't know if you can see, but the bottom of the hose clamp is blocking the bottom of the bracket. If you can't see it, you'll just have to trust a fella. Welcome to 5 o'clock on a Friday. This hose clamp was interfering right here, so I'm gonna have to loosen that and turn it down, which is not a big deal. I mean, it's only 3 bolts. Hi Zilla. My poor neighbors. They sure put up with a lot from me, but they're very nice. They kind of know the deal. They know I help people out and all that good stuff. So we'll just turn this way. Then I'll bet you that'll be all the clearance I need. So anyway, I feel like just hot garbage. There we go. Is that hitting it all? I think it is. So I'm gonna flip it the other direction. What I should do is take it off and flip it around so that it's actually easier to... Oh, can't pry against metal, Paul. Well, you can, just won't work in the long run. Come on, baby. I've had some time to edit videos, so that's kind of nice. So if I flip it like that, then I'm not going to have any clearance issues. Click. Now, grab my bracket. There we go. Now we're flush against the cylinder head here, and that'll do the job. So, get these started. Find the right bolt for that, which I think is that one, or it's that one. I think it's this one. Nope, too short. Well, either will or it won't. I think that one went over there, so I'm going to use this one. Yep, that'll work. So if I can get the front dress on this thing buttoned up, that is a long one. Well, here's the deal. I can cinch these up, and if that winds up being too long, it'll at least be lined up that I can put it in the hole. And hopefully this video footage is worth a crap. I will confess, that back bolt is not great on that header. Just snug that up by hand. say that's not going anywhere. Yeah, that's not long enough. So that whole assembly definitely goes over there. So I need to get a 9/16 gear wrench. My wife's going to come home and be like, "What the hell are you doing?" And I'm going to be like, what I always do. Paul doing Paul things. Which, when your wife cares about you, as mine does, she hates it when I beat myself up. Oh, for frog snacks. Love doing 1/5 of a turn at a time, but hey, that's okay. I'm going to be doing some work on the Yamaha tomorrow, the motorcycle. I drove it to work yesterday. Click. And that's good. So that bracket's on. Now I get to try to remember how to hook the alternator up, because I don't remember. You know, you get into let's just blast stuff together mode. This is kind of what happens. And one thing I'm going to do at some point, and it reminds me, I should buy one of those universal gauge clusters. And since I've basically deep sixed my standard hood cable latches, I'm going to run those lines in through there. Yeah, I should order one of those, but that can be for another time. I can do that after I get all this dialed in. So I do, oh, there goes all the power steering fluid. And actually, one of the things I should do is I'm committing homicide on the ground, is go ahead and get that new line installed, which is right here. We can talk crap about China, but I destroyed that power steering line when we lifted the engine out. I'm just going to say when I lifted the engine out. I'm not going to blame Rick. That was me. Should have seen that. But the nice thing about China and the Sung brand, Sing Song, whatever. So that will go right there. And this goes in there. I have no idea what these O-rings are for, but they make these at least for an 87 Corvette, which is pretty wild. So there must be a O-ring that goes on that. Couldn't tell you which one's which. I don't think it's left over on the old one. Yeah, it is. There's a frickin' O-ring on that little doohickey. It's pretty neat. I don't know what the cap's for. I haven't the foggiest idea. So they give you two of the same. I tore a hole and it has a Ziploc thing, of course. Let's see, this is larger. That's where they cheap out on you usually, is those O-rings. What? Oh, duh, I'm an idiot. Jamming the wrong side in there. There's no O-ring in there, so that's good. But I can at least get this started. Boy, that's pretty tight. So that goes in like that. It's gonna go like that. Huh. Well, maybe I try to do that after the fact? Which I can tell you is going to be just all sorts of fun. And I mangled this up, so I ordered a new one. And I'm definitely going to need it now. But it sure looks like that spacer was up there. Oh, that won't be terrible to get to. Won't be fun, but I can get to it. So I think first order of business is get that bottom bolt in, which that bottom bolt should be this. Yeah, because that was the other one. Yeah. So, what kind of contortion am I going to have to do? Lots of contortion. Y'all can't see a thing. Hell, I barely can. Alright, so that one started. And then those guys are going to butt up against there. So it's got a smaller spacer that goes in here. That's this guy down here. Ah! Sorry for the grunting and groaning. Does that have the washer there? You know what I should do? Let's go back and look at my own damn videos. That'd be very advantageous. Yeah, that just had the one washer on it. I remember this wasn't overly pleasant to do. Yeah, I think one of the washers went there and another went in there. I do remember having to make my own bolts, but you know, for the $25 that the rest of the kit had. It's really not too much to ask for. Yeah, that one's not even started down the bottom, which honestly this will be easier. Come on, get started. It's kind of started, but to be honest, I kind of want to... Oh, that washer goes on there. Yeah. Where'd my wrench go? There we go. So that's at least started. Now I can fit this one in. Yeah, I remember I had the brass right here on the cylinder head. There we go. What is going on? Oh, that bottom bolt's getting in the way. There we go. I'm trying not to strip out the aluminum, so I'm trying to get this lined up. There we go, that's starting to go in. One thing I've learned is to not snug everything up until you're damn well ready. There you go, that whole thing. This isn't that bad today. What am I doing? This guy. That's my redneck washer. That started. So now the fun one down at the bottom. Everything still lines up, yay. So the one on the bottom, I can see it, you guys can't. Boy, that is, let's see if it's more accessible from over here. Wait, I still haven't put the last stuff on the bottom, but I need to do the ground cable and spend some more time under the truck. There's that bolt. Boy, just no room for this bottom bolt. No room whatsoever. Maybe. Just maybe I can snake this in there, and with any luck, because the other three are lined up, this one will go. I think an extension on that would be good, and then I can just put it in by hand a little. Yeah. That's going to be way too long. This Harbor Freight Weebly Wobbly should be just right. Look at that. Oh, I need to get some new extensions. I don't know if you can see, but that ball is... That explains... Probably used an impact on it. Like an idiot. Yeah, that's starting to go. So now I can, well, I gotta get a few more turns on it. There we go. Going in, it's flopping all around. Guaranteed I'll lose my socket when it decides to fall off. When I'm done snugging this up, don't worry about this sitting little candywampus, the idler. That's because I haven't got this bottom bolt snugged up, which will straighten it out like that. At least that's my theory. There, that's snug. Oh, good. Stock is just gonna stay right on there. There we go, that's out. Walk around. You know what? Chuck it. If it's no good, it's no good. Snug. Snug. Oh, boy, that may have just stripped. Good news is that bolt's not in there that far. So if I got to, yeah, that straightened that out perfect. So if I got to, I can run a longer bolt in there, which probably be wise to do. Bummer. But that's rigidly mounted now. This whole arrangement's hot all the time now. So I think I'm going to leave it off. Just let it dangle in the wind when I get this on. I'm going to go ahead and get the belt on because I'm in here. And there's Ricky G. Well, I got Ricky G coming over just to grab some music for Sunday. But while I'm waiting, I can attempt to remove this line, which would have been much easier without all this installed. But there we go. At the same time, so what I want to remember is how that's oriented, which is pretty much like that. So anyway, I got a few minutes where I can do the chitty chat with you guys while I'm tinkering. Ugh. Why does this have to be so tight? That's off. Boy. This is riveting cinema, I can tell. I can't get that to turn. And I don't want to just cut it off, because if I cut it off, that won't help me on reinstall. So, how am I going to get into there? Maybe I can do a two-finger tango. Could be that that's just frozen to the line. I don't think it is. As far as I can tell, this was a California car. No, it's not frozen. Just a little bindy. This is 1/6 of a turn at a time. It's just real tight quarters. You know, it's funny, I was reflecting on this and on this car. I'm like, man, there's so much room for all sorts of activities in this thing. And then, oh, there we go. Stick my fat arm in there. Yeah, I'm sure you can see that now, if I'm videoing properly. I'm gonna leave my arm in here and feed that new line in. There we go. Yeet. Oh, that O-ring's probably still in there. Let me grab some kind of picking device. See if I can pull that O-ring out, otherwise we'll have a wonderful leak. There we go, custom bent. That'll do it. Let's just clean that up a bit. See if I can soak up some of that fluid, which I can't. Yep, I saw the O-ring fall out. That's fine. It's out. You may have missed it, but I saw it. That's all that matters. Okay. Jam my hand. Come back here, screwdriver. Jam my hand back in here. And then I lift up on these to kind of help keep it centered and help it thread. Oh, there's that beagle. Frickin' beagle. As you can see, this is quite tedious, but honestly it's been like 5 minutes, and that's not awful. Just because it's inconvenient doesn't mean it's stupid. And there comes Ricky G. I'll get this snugged up, and then I will join you after I'm done. There we go, snuggied. Well, let me do just one more snuggie. There we go. Click. Cool. Alright. See you, Ricky G60 at gmail.com. So, I did the right thing and uninstalled the alternator. So now I actually can get under here and get that thing flared. I don't know how well you can see. Probably not. But it is what it is. You just gotta trust that I'm doing work under here. So this guy, see this flare nut, I mean they literally made this so that it sits inside where the pulley goes. That may have to do a little self-clearancing. Which is not ideal. What a stupid arrangement this is. I think I'm gonna turn off the camera, struggle on my own here a little bit so that no expletives make it to the internet. Well, that was unpleasant. I did have to tweak both the fitting that goes in and this a little bit, but now I got both of them started, so that should go good. I got good clearance around the pulley, you can't hear it. Mint. Taking the alternator off was the way to go so I could see what I was doing. Probably what I should have done is just left the whole bracket off, try to get that in, but it's kind of hard to tell and it's not perfect, so you just kind of get after it. So I'm going to get this snugged up, get the alternator back on the serpentine belt, and then throw a battery charger on the battery, and then call it good for tonight. And I'll keep you guys updated. All right. Oh, 5% battery. I'll make it quick. All right. So I just got the last transmission bolt in. Got the ground cable plugged up. I'm feeling good enough. Back on the carnivore diet kind of helps. Now I'm just filling it up with some 520 synthetic because my bearing clearances are pretty tight. So I just want to see if I can get some oil pressure out of this thing by cranking on it. But yeah, so it's getting there. I'll pull the carb thing off of there, but yeah, I'll report back. All right, so I got the engine timed, I hope. Probably 180 out, knowing me. I got the carb set on here. It's not cinched down or anything. There's lots to do, obviously. But I got that in. Battery's hooked up and charged. Found top dead center. I still need to replace this, but that's no big deal. I'm not putting water in it. I am going to put a hose on the top clamp. I winged it over and I got 20 pounds of oil pressure on the starter, so I feel pretty good about that. Yeah, so I'm going to connect up the rest of the plug wires and distributor and see if I can get this thing to pop off on even just some carburetor cleaner. It'd be awfully nice if it would. So yeah, I just want to see how bad it is. I mean, it should be okay, right? I mean, not the highest performance engine on the planet, but it should work. Well, I know it's a black hole in here, but you can see some shiny tools. So I attempted to fire this thing up, and I had got the distributor 180 out, so I swapped that back. That didn't work either. It's trying to fire all in the wrong cylinder, so I need to just spend some time actually figuring out what's cooking on this thing. I'm just a little too tired and not feeling spectacular to be able to do it. So I'm just going to go ahead and clean up for the evening and get going. Yep, you can see the lights going. And now I've got a stuck brake light, so that's a joy, if there ever was a joy. Oh, yeah, it's been a long day, but that's all good. I'm just glad that I got 25. It went up to 25 pounds of oil pressure, so that means things are going well. In terms of the bearings, I'm assuming they're good. Nothing sounds bad when it cranks over. Sounds like a standard small block Chevy, so I'm happy with that. But I think that's where I'm going to end it for tonight. Yeah. Find something tough and get after it. Find out what you're made of. Well, I fought and fought and fought. I bought a new Jegs distributor. Guy was selling one for $50, same as the Chinese ones. I just didn't know if it was a quality issue. No idea. Got fuel in this thing. Got the carb on. Got all the vacuum leaks sorted. And then I was struggling because the damn thing was 180 out, but I couldn't tell. But she's going to run now. She's going to run. The only thing that sucks about this is I got to pee like a racehorse. So let's see how she goes. Timing's not great. I got a new battery on order. This thing is just not happy for some reason. I'm back to getting no fuel again. So I'm getting a good... I'm wondering if I just have this guy tightened down too much. No directions, of course, so I have no idea. But if I loosen that, there we go. I'm hearing fuel get to the carb. It's right at 5 pounds. We'll just leave that there. So it's knocked it down 1 psi. That should handle it. That should do the job. There we go. There's some squirts. Let's see how she does now. How about now? Doesn't sound like it's running on all of them. But that's pretty healthy. Let's see oil pressure. 50 pounds. 50 pounds, I'm good with that. I got some new gauges going in. Sounds certainly better. Now I can add water. I still think it's a little rich. I think it's a little rich. Let's see, we're running with 6 pounds. I'm gonna see if I can knock that down a little bit and we'll see how that goes. Yeah, that's good. All right, I'll bring you back. Well, after all that, I got rod knock again. So I think I'm done fucking around with the small block Chevy. I just, rather than buy a whole new motor and do all that, I don't know what the deal is. Let's see if she'll run again. This is frustrating. I think I'm done. It fucking won't do anything. It's locked up. God damn it. Well, fire sale, small block Chevy parts. I'm done. Over it. Now, what I may do just for giggles, I'll see if Sparky wants those heads back. I'm gonna probably get a carbureted intake manifold for the LS and get that done. Everything else should bolt up, but well, at least I know what I'm doing now. Oh, so freaking over this motor. Done. Had plenty of oil pressure, but you know, shit happens. And as such, you adjust. Yeah. It's okay, nothing wrong with a little defeat. Never hurt anybody.